Hello students, welcome to FS Cloud. My name is Shashmita. We have an app by the name Careers Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. Once you have downloaded the application, you will easily be able to log in using your Gmail ID. And once you have logged in, you will be redirected to this page where you will be getting this URL. And there will be option for home, all courses, my courses and down section in this application. You will be getting multiple PDFs, multiple content on daily basis that will be enhancing your learning. Under Crack Current Affairs, you will be able to see multiple options. First one is Current Affairs English. We upload the day-to-day basis news in the English format. And apart from English PDF, we also provide them in Hindi format. And this banking awareness, we upload a PDF every month. So this PDF will contain the banking news, banking and the finance news of that respective month. And Current Affairs exam PDF will have two categories. One is that most important news of that particular month will be uploaded in this Current Affairs exam PDF. And also exam perspective PDF will also be uploaded. And next is Special CA. This will contain Union Budget, Economic Survey, and also the most important events that had taken place globally as well as nationally. And next most important is topic wise. So the entire news of that particular month will be segregated into different topics. And in order to recollect whatever you've read, we also provide you with topic wise quizzes. Apart from that, we also provide state current affairs. Now, here if you see, we provide you with the day-to-day PDF, and this we provide you with the weekly PDF. So that particular week news will be compiled into a PDF and in question and answer format in English and will be uploaded here. And to enhance your learning, you can also, to enhance and strengthen your learning, you can also attend the quiz. Here we provide you with the entire news of that particular week. But here we take the top 60 most important news and we upload it in this PDF in question and answer format. Apart from weekly, we also provide you the monthly ones. This PDF will contain detailed view of that particular month news, and this will have a brief format of the same news. This will be in the form of a question and answer format, and this will have the top 100 question and answer of that particular month. We also provide you with the PIB news on a day-to-day basis, which you can go and read in these particular tabs. Apart from that, we also provide the Union Budget and Economic Survey. You can also attend you can read after reading the PDF. You can also go and attend the quiz. This is available in the Special CA category. We also provide state level current affairs. So this will be very helpful for students who are preparing for state level exams. For example, if you are preparing for Tamil Nadu state level exams, then you can click this tab and you will be able to see all the current affairs or news related to Tamil Nadu. Apart from that, we also provide PDF from the exam perspective. Suppose you are preparing for RBI Assistant Mains, then this tab will contain 5 to 6 months of current affairs, which has high probability of being asked in RBI Assistant Mains. Similarly, for SBI PO, RRB PO, Clerk Mains, all these are being given under this section. And also we provide separate content-wise, topic-wise current affairs like national affairs, government schemes, international affairs, banking and finance, economy and businesses, MOUs and committees and meetings. All these different types of news are segregated in these particular categories. Hello students, welcome to our new initiative. In this initiative, we will be uploading the weekly current affairs on banking and finance section. So this will be uploaded on every Monday. And so on the whole, per month, you will have totally 4 videos related to this topic. And apart from just providing you with the banking and finance news, we also provide you the conceptual explanation so that this will enhance and also strengthen your knowledge about these topics. Today, we will be covering September 4th week banking and finance awareness news. Moving to the first news. The first news is about the credit cards that has been launched by the IDFC Bank. So IDFC First Bank Limited has launched Ashwa and Mayura credit cards. So these credit cards, if you see, the Ashwa credit card focuses on mid-tier customers and the Mayura credit card focuses on the affluent segment. So the Ashwa credit card, it is powered by the Visa network. It is available for the eligible customers with a joining fee of 2,999 and the annual fee is 2,999, the same amount. If you see, first feature is the low forex charges. The credit card levies 1% fees on the foreign currency transaction, and if you see, in case of rewards, the credit card offers 10x reward points on spend above 20,000 in a statement cycle and on the customer's birthday. And in case of airport lounge access, your cardholder will get access to 4 domestic and 2 international lounge visits per quarter. And in case of reimbursement on trip cancellation, it will get a reimbursement up to rupees 25,000 annually for non-refundable flight and hotel cancellation. So these are the various features of this Ashwa card. Next is Mayura credit card. So the previous card was designed for the mid-tier customers. Here this is designed for the affluent customers. So this new credit card is available for salaried or self-employed customers with minimum annual income of 25 lakh or above. The joining fee is higher here and it is 5,999 and the annual fees is also 5,999. So if you see, there will be no forex charges on the foreign currency transactions, and the reward here is also the same as the previous one. They will get reward of 10x reward points on spending about rupees 20,000 in a statement cycle and on the customer's birthday. And here they will have access to 4 domestic visits and 4 launch access to 4 domestic visits and 4 international launch visits per quarter. And reimbursement, if you see, the reimbursement on trip cancellation is up to 50,000 annually for the non-refundable flight and hotel cancellation. So RBI has approved the reappointment of V. Vaidyanathan as the MD and CEO of IDFC First Bank Limited. So his 3-year term period will start from 19th December 2024 and will end in 18th December 2027. So in 2018, V. Vaidyanathan became the first MD and CEO of the merged entity known as the IDFC First Bank Limited, a bank founded by the merger of the Capital First and the IDFC Bank. In 2021, he was again appointed as the MD and CEO of the IDFC First Bank Limited. So if you see now, this is the second reappointment. So previously, he has an extensive experience in the banking industry. He worked with the Citibank from 1999 to 2000 and the ICICI Bank from 2000 to 2010. And he played an important role in setting up of ICICI Bank's retail banking division and later served as the MD and CEO of ICICI Prudential Life Insurance in 2009. So remember, V. Vaidyanathan reappointed as the MD and CEO of IDFC First Bank. The next news is about SEBI. SEBI amended issue and listing non-convertible security rules to streamline public issuance of debt securities. So these rules have been changed in order to favor the issuers. So issuers, why do they raise these securities? Because they are in need of funds. So in order to help the issuers get the fund in a lesser period of time, this amendment was introduced. So let us look into it in detail. So this amendment aims to streamline the process of public issuance of debt securities and simplify the disclosure requirements, which will help in faster access to funds for such issuers. So as per new rules, SEBI has reduced the time period for seeking public comments on the draft offer documents from 7 working days to 1 day for issuers whose specified securities are already listed on the stock exchanges and 5 days for other issuers. See, generally before selling the securities, what is that? SEBI will provide the offer document for public viewing, so that public will get to know about the company financial position. So everything can be analyzed by the public before buying the securities. That is why this open window is there for the public. So now they have reduced it from 7 working days to 1 day. So why have they reduced? So that they can get, so that it will be completed in a very fast way and the issuer can have easier and faster access to the funds. That is why this timeline has been reduced. The purpose of a draft offer document is to help investors understand the company and make informed decision about whether to purchase the company's units or not. So here, if you see, if it is already listed, then it has been reduced from 7 working days to 1 day, and in other cases it has been 5 days. Next is, it has specified that minimum subscription period has been reduced from 3 days to 2 days. Minimum subscription period is the period or is the time how many days it has been open for the investors to buy or subscribe the securities. So previously it was open for 3 days. Now it has been reduced to 2 days. So also in case of revision in the price band or yield, the bidding period disclosed in the offer documents can be extended by 1 working day. Previously it was 3 working days. So if you see certain times, if you see, there will be a fixed price of securities that will be issued. Suppose if you want to buy the security from us, then you have to pay 100 rupees. So each security is worth of 100 rupees. So the investor will pay 100 rupees and the issuer will provide the security to the investor. But there are cases when a price band is issued. What is this price band? There will be a lower ceiling and upper ceiling will only be fixed by the issuer. Say the lower ceiling is around 70 and the upper ceiling is around 120. In that case, what will happen is that investor will bid amounts between 70 and 120. So they will bid the amount and depending upon the number of bids and the amount of bids, this issuer will fix on one particular amount. So it can be, the issuer can bid 71, 81, 118. So many amounts can be bidded by various investors. So all this bidding will be provided to the issuer, and depending upon which has got the highest bid, depending upon that a fixed amount will be, then only the security amount will be fixed. So in case of revision, if this upper band and that is in case the lower ceiling needs a revision, or the upper ceiling needs a revision, means in that case it can be extended by 1 working day. The bidding period disclosed in the offer documents, it can be extended by 1 working day. So previously it was 3 working days. In this case, now it has been reduced to 1 working day. Next is SEBI new rules has simplified disclosure requirements for non-convertible securities in offer documents by eliminating the requirement of PAN and personal address disclosure of promoters in the offer documents. So in case of non-convertible securities means that if you are getting debenture, that is the bonds, then you cannot convert into the shares. This facility is not available. In case of convertible securities, in case you have been issued debenture, that is bond, in future you have the right, or you can have the access to convert into a security or shares. That is what convertible security means, and this is what non-convertible security means. So in case of non-convertible securities, now the promoters, they don't have to provide the PAN and personal address information. And next is that as per the revised rules, the issuers have now discretion with regard to advertisement of public issuance through electronic modes. So through electronic modes also you can provide advertisement, subject to a window advertisement containing a quick response code and link to full advertisement. So there should be a quick response, that is the QR code, and if you scan the QR code, that should provide the link to the full advertisement. So these are the various amendments that have been brought by the SEBI. We have launched a new course called Static Banking Awareness course. Now this course will be helpful for students who are preparing for the banking exams and for the regulatory body exams. And also recently you would have seen Paytm Bank in news frequently. So when an aspirant reads this news, he would have ample number of questions like what is a payment bank, what are the norms for it, and which is the committee that has launched it. So this Static Banking Awareness course lays a foundation to the current banking and finance news. Now, you have to download our Careers Cloud to access this course. Once you have logged into our app, you can go and click this All Courses icon, and then you'll be redirected to this page. In this, you have to go and click the Static Banking Awareness course, and under the Details tab, you will be able to see a brief about this course. And under the Part tab, it will contain all the contents, all the topics of the contents that are currently available in this course. We are working on this continuously, and this will be completed within 2 months. Under the Free tab, you can go and access one content, that is the origin and development content, for free. You can go and read this content and have an idea about this course. After reading this content, do attend the quiz that is also available under the same tab. Now, our team has allocated ample amount of time and resources to curate this content. We have created this content from various books and from various verified websites. Our content is better than any book that is available in the market. This is because we update this content on a dynamic basis. For example, there are currently 39 DRTs that are available in the country now. In future, if one more DRT is created or added, then it would become 40. So we would update this content on a dynamic basis. But in case of books, you have to wait for the next publication for this updated content. Nowadays, a lot of practical questions have been asked in the banking exams. For example, how many public sector banks are available on the stock exchange? Which is the payment bank that is being listed on the stock exchange? So, we try to cover as many practical questions as possible in this course. Apart from this, we also provide you a question bank that will contain around 3,000 questions and the previous year questions along with it. We also have a dedicated tab that will release the important RBI notification and the frequent news released by the RBI. You can use this code B15 to avail 15% discount. This is one of the highest discounts that we have offered until now. So do avail this code B15 while you purchase the course. The next news is about a credit card that's been launched by Axis Bank and MasterCard together. This credit card is called as MyBiz. It is a business credit card designed for sole proprietors and small and medium enterprises business owners. So remember, this Axis Bank Limited and MasterCard together have launched this MyBiz card. So this card, it combines a range of business and travel benefits to meet the needs of SME owners. So next is about a forecast by ADB. So this news has a lot of forecasts. So do remember each and every organization forecast. It is very important. One such question will surely appear in the exam. So according to the Asian Development Bank Outlook update of September, India will grow at the rate of 7% for the financial year 2025 and 7.2% for the financial year 26. And also it is expected that the government debt will decrease from 58.2% of the GDP to 56.8% in financial year 2025. And it has projected that India's current account deficit to be 1% of the GDP in financial year 25 and financial year 24 and 1.2% in financial year 25. So remember, it is 1% in financial year 24 and 1.2% in financial year 25. Current account deficit is regarding the export and import. So when a deficit happens, it means that we import more than we export, then that is called as a current account deficit. So consumer inflation is anticipated to rise to 4.7% in financial year 24 due to the elevated food prices. So remember, it is 7% GDP for 25 financial year 25, 7.2% for the financial year 26, and then the GDP, the debt will decrease from 58.2% to 56.8%. So next is about a plan that has been launched by the SBI General Insurance. So this plan is SBI General Health Super Top Up Plan. So we know that the health expenses are growing year by year. So the inflation, if you see, the medical inflation is rising at approximately 14%. Very, very expensive. So it is growing at 14% annually. So if you already have an insurance plan and if it is not that much, if the amount sum insured is not that much, then you can buy this top up to increase the sum insured. That is the purpose of this top up plan. So it offers two options with sum insured ranging from 5 lakhs to 4 crores. Next is City Union Bank Limited has launched 8 payment products at the 5th Global FinTech Festival. So it has launched 8 innovative digital payment products and solutions to enhance the ecosystem for the MSME and the retail customers. So the new digital payment products include Delegate Payments, UPI Lite Auto Top Up, NCMC Card, Credit Line on UPI, RuPay Credit on UPI, and Loan Against Security. So these are the various digital payment products that are offered by the City Union Bank. Next is Axis AMC launched India's first NBFC sector-based target maturity mutual fund scheme. So this Axis Mutual Fund launched Axis CRISIL IBX AAA NBFC Index and open-ended target maturity index fund. So where will this money in the mutual fund be exposed or be invested in? It will be invested in high-quality AAA rated NBFC. So remember, this money will be exposed to high-quality AAA. The rating is important. AAA rated NBFC. And this mutual fund is launched by the Axis. It is the India's first NBFC sector-based mutual fund scheme. The next news is about Asian Development Bank. So ADB has approved a $50 million loan for initiative called Climate Adaptive Community-Based Water Harvesting Project in Meghalaya. So this project supports the Meghalaya State Water Policy 2019. So where will this money be used? It will be used to construct 532 water storage facilities across 12 districts, and there will be a development of 3,000 hectares of command area to ensure reliable irrigation for the farmers. So remember the amount, it is $50 million for water harvesting project in Meghalaya. So women farmers will receive special training to boost productivity in the irrigated agriculture, focusing on horticulture and fisheries. ADB will strengthen the capacity of Meghalaya State Watershed, Wasteland Development Agency and the Soil and Water Conservation Department. So the ADB president is Masatsugu Asakawa, headquarter is in Manila. Members, if you see, there are 68 members and established in the year 1966. Next is about a loan that has been sanctioned by State Bank of India. State Bank of India has sanctioned a loan of amount 10,050 crores to Damodar Valley Corporation to develop ultra supercritical thermal power project, a capacity of 1600 megawatt in Jharkhand. So remember, it is State Bank of India. The amount involved is 10,050 crore to Damodar Valley Corporation for construction of a 1600 megawatt thermal power project in Jharkhand. So these are the various key terms that you have to remember. Next is Kolkata based DVC. It works under the Ministry of Power. It came into existence on 1948 as the first multi-purpose river valley project of independent India. So next is about a GDP forecast by the S&P Global. So according to the S&P Global's inaugural edition, it released on 19 September 2024, India is on track to become the third largest economy in the world and transition to upper middle income category by financial year 2031. And it is expected an annual growth of 6.7% up to the financial year 2031. So if you see under this category, income category, there are 4 income categories. One is low income, one is low middle income, next is upper middle income, the last one is high income countries. So now we are under the low middle income and we are under the transition to the upper middle income category. The report noted that India's GDP grew by 8.2% in financial year 24 and it also expects to grow by 6.8% in financial year 25. So the main reason is that India must now develop infrastructure and geopolitical strategies, particularly regarding its extensive coastline. So if you see, major of the exports to other countries from India is via the sea. So we have to improve the port structure. That is very important for boosting the exports. So the report noted that about 90% of India's trade is seaborne or maritime, which makes it important for India to develop robust port infrastructure to manage increasing exports and bulk commodity imports. The report emphasized to address critical infrastructure issues such as irrigation, storage and supply distribution to ensure food security and economic stability. So now if you see the last 2 months, the inflation is growing mainly because of the food inflation. So food inflation is the main cause of increase in the overall inflation. So if you include the food inflation, then the inflation we have managed it in a very good manner. But if you include the food part, then the inflation goes very high. So it is very important to maintain the food security for the economic stability. The report also showed that the GST collection in India reached an all-time monthly high of 2.1 trillion in April 2024 and remains healthy in the May and June month. So next is about iBus. So Bangalore-based iBus Network and Infrastructure Private Limited. It is a leading digital infrastructure solution provider. It has secured an investment of 280 crore from the IFC, a member of the World Bank Group. So remember, it is iBus Network. It has received around 280 crore from the IFC. So it is for global expansion. So this money will be used for the global expansion of the iBus network. So to scale its operation and enter new markets, focusing on solutions like inbuilt connectivity, outdoor small cells, managed wireless fidelity services. For all this purpose, this money will be used. So remember the name, it is iBus Network. It has received 280 crore from the IFC. So next is that ADB has provided 530 crore to boost the drinking water supply project. So Manik Saha, the CM of Tripura, laid the foundation for the Manila-based ADB funded rupees 530 crore water supply project in Udaipur, Tripura. So it is an initiative under the Mukhyamantri Nagar Unnayan Prakalp. So what does this mean? The CM Urban Development Scheme for the modern management of drinking water supply in 12 cities of Tripura. The project, it has already received 330 crores in funding from the ADB. So clean drinking water will be supplied to the pipeline to every house in the mentioned city. So remember, it is Tripura. It has received amount of around 530 crore from the, it will receive amount around 530 crore for the water supply project from the ADB. So additionally, a total of 18 kilometers of road and 48 kilometers of drains will be constructed as part of this project. And also the project also includes the construction of 305 kilometers of water pipelines, 25 deep tube wells, 18 iron removal plants, 4 treatment plants and 19 water reservoirs. The project aims to minimize the water wastage, address the issue of water loss through leaks and inefficient systems by implementing modern technology. So next is about a co-branded travel debit card that has been launched. So Bank of Baroda along with easemytrip.com, India's one of the largest online travel platform, has launched a co-branded travel debit card named Bank of Baroda EaseMyTrip debit card for the frequent travelers. So this is the first co-branded travel debit card introduced by the public sector bank in India, and EaseMyTrip is the first online travel agency in India to be partnered with the public sector bank for a debit card. So remember the two names, it is Bank of Baroda and EaseMyTrip, and it is a debit card, not a credit card but a co-branded travel debit card. Generally a credit card is only launched. So this is the first case where a Bank of Baroda and EaseMyTrip have joined together to launch first co-branded travel debit card. Next is SBI General Insurance Company. It has partnered with BLC E-Services Limited. It is a leading integrated technology-enabled digital service provider to offer a range of insurance products directly to the customers across India. So if you see SBI General Insurance, it was in operation, came into operation in 2010, a joint venture between the State Bank of India and the Insurance Australia Group. So remember, it is SBI General Insurance along with BLS E-Services. They will provide a lot of insurance products directly, digitally, directly to the customers. The next news is about a GDP forecast by the Moody's. So Moody's, it has projected a GDP of 7.1% for India for the current year, for the calendar year 2024. In its previous estimate, that is in June month, it had estimate of 6.8%. So from the 6.8%, now it has increased to 7.1% for the calendar year 2024 for the India. However, it has kept India's inflation forecast for the current year 25 and 26 unchanged at 4.5% and 4.1%. So the inflation will be 4.5% for the 2025, and for 2026 it will be 4.1%. And Moody's has also raised the 2025 forecast for the Asia Pacific region by 10 basis points. So from 3.9% it has increased to 4% for the Asia Pacific region forecast. The next is about the GDP forecast by the OECD. So OECD has raised India's GDP forecast by 10 basis points to 6.7% from the previous estimate of 6.6%. This is for the financial year of 2025. So it has also increased the India's growth forecast for the financial year 26 by 20 basis points, that is to 6.8% from its previous estimate. So remember, for the financial year 25, the estimate is 6.7%, and for the financial year 26, the estimate is 6.8%. So remember the estimate of ADB, OECD, and also Moody's is very, very important, and also for the estimate by S&P. So all these estimates you have to remember, it is very, very important. Next is OECD's report has also raised India's headline inflation forecast by 20 basis points from 4.3 to 4.5. So they have not only increased the GDP forecast but also the inflation forecast. So from the previous estimate of 4.3%, now it expects that the India's inflation will grow by 4.5% for the financial year 2025. And this was the forecast by the Reserve Bank of India also. Reserve Bank of India also had estimated that the inflation growth rate financial year 25 will be 4.5%. Next is that it has lowered the India's inflation for financial year 26 by 10 basis points, that is to 4.1%. As per the report, the global growth will remain stable at 3.2% both 2024 and 2025. It has projected the growth rate in the US will slow down at 2.6% in 2024 and 1.6% in 2025. It is estimated that China's growth will ease to 4.9% in 2024 and 4.5% in 2025. So if you see, it is very important to know India's forecast, global, US, the strongest country, and next the China. So these are the major countries. It's very important to know the forecast of each and everything. Thank you for watching the session. I hope you had enjoyed it. We're also available in Telegram under the name AffairsCloud_official. We also have an Instagram handle. Apart from this, you can contact us directly on 9677333862 regarding any courses that we offer or regarding any payment issues. You can contact directly on this number. Thank you.